Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN, OnyxCoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. So here we are, not too far away from where we've been, right? This is a pretty anticlimactic drop so far. That was my daughter. Pretty anticlimactic drop so far. It is a little bit more robust on this 1 hour time frame, but it's not promoting a lot of volume, right? Even here, this looks like it's a lot of volume, but I mean, truthfully, we zoom out, it ain't anything, man. We don't know what a lot of volume is. So if you're scoped in and you're thinking that these are significant moves, they're not. They're not at all. And whenever you're at this significant area and looking to break out, your quote unquote significant moves should come with significant volume, right? It's like here when we were breaking out of this area, we broke out of this consolidation phase to the upside, we got significant volume. It wasn't this pipsqueak stuff that you can't even see, right? Unless you zoom all the way into it. So here, yes, we might be breaking out, but I don't think it's going to be long lived at all. And when I say yes, we're breaking out, I mean probably from these low points here. What about these low points here? Yeah, it would have been from this area here that we broke out. 1 hour time frames got me all backwards, but broke out of this to the downside, back tested it for resistance and came down lower. But you're having a hell of a time. Like, what a very lackluster breakout this has been. Don't get me wrong, breaking out initially, pulling back, and then back testing it, that should have given you some oomph down. It really should have, but it didn't. It just, you moved down a little bit. Without volume, you decreased in volume. Now you're getting the biggest candle on a 1 hour basis that you've seen throughout, like, really since the 18th of February on an hourly time frame. That's a long time, right? So in many candles, this is the biggest candle you've seen, and look at how lackluster this volume is in comparison to a candle of a similar size, right over here. And yes, this wicked up a little bit more, but let's see if we can find something even more appropriate for that. Maybe this green candle over here. Pretty, come on now. Pretty similar levels of volume, maybe. 15 minutes left in this hour. I doubt it even achieves that. But look, this volume back here for a very similar sized candle, right? I feel like it's pretty similar. This is even bigger, a little bit bigger, I would say. It didn't promote anything. It didn't promote any growth, and it had larger levels of volume. It was a larger candle. This thing here, I don't think it's going to merit any growth. I don't think that's going to diminish the price at all and go too much lower. I do believe it goes lower. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it goes lower than this, but oftentimes too with XCN, with OnyxCoin, it's right whenever it looks like it wants to go lower that it bounces. So don't be surprised either if by the time most of you watch this, we're already at higher prices. But 15 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame, volume's coming in a little bit. It looks like there's a effort to push this price down for sure. Let's see. 15-minute RSI, getting into the oversold zone. Yes, you're finding support in this oversold zone time and time again. So really, man, if you go lower, I bet it's quick and it gets eaten up, right? I don't think you really go. If you go down to 1.8 cents, that might be like the lowest that I expect. But I don't think you go below there. And if you do, I mean, this just, I don't know. You're picking up a little volume, relatively speaking, but it just doesn't feel appropriate, the levels of volume you're having for this move. So regardless of how low it goes, whether it stops here and it bounces, whether it goes to 1.8 cents and it bounces, whether it goes to 1.6 cents and it bounces, one of those targets, right? Whatever it does, it's going to bounce, and it's going to be very soon. I mean, today's probably when it's going to find the low, if not certainly by the end of this week. Next week, we're going to be moving up again. Not financial advice, not your financial advisor, but I've had a couple of comments. Really, I've had a lot of comments, but yesterday specifically, it seems like a lot of people have capitulated. People have given up and they've sold at quite literally the worst moment to sell. Like it's like you're playing the game backwards. They bought up here and they're selling down here, or they bought up here and they're selling down here. Maybe you bought at one of the highs. I don't know, But if you're buying the highs and you're selling the lows, you're literally doing it backwards. And it's okay. I want to say this is to you out there, because I'm not making fun of you. I'm literally addressing something that all of us do or have done in the past, and it only takes a couple times making this mistake to never want to do it again, because it's the worst whenever you buy something that you think is going to go up and it goes down. That sucks. But it's the worst. It truly is the worst. When you buy something here, it goes down, you sell. Even if it goes a little bit lower, cool, you feel validated for half a second. This was the best thing you did, was sell low and buy high. No, it feels the worst whenever it comes back up, and if you just held on to it, you would have actually made money. It feels the worst then, because it's like you went through all this turmoil for no reason. And I'm not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I would strongly assume that any person who sold down here, you've gone through some turmoil, and if you sold down here, you've gone through it for absolutely no reason at all. Unless you put it into something that pumped today or is moving up before XCN does, or moves up more than XCN, it's probably just sad, honestly. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is a great area to buy. It's an absolutely great area to buy, right? We're talking about it. If you bought high and you sold low, you're doing it wrong. But if you're selling high and you're buying low, then you would be doing it right, right? Just by formulaic equilibrium there. What else was I going to say? There was something else I was going to say. It's morning time for me, guys, so I'm a little bit tired. That's not an excuse. I'm just like foggy brained, whatever. Haven't had my morning cup of tea yet. We're at 1.9 cents now. We're gonna move up soon. Okay. 4-hour time frame has bullish divergence. It is confirmed on there, higher lows, but we've already done the move. That's what this move was here. Okay, so we can move lower. We absolutely can move lower. I wouldn't be surprised in the least at all if we went below this low. I would be surprised if we interacted with this high or went below this high. Okay, and at the same time, if that happens, if I am surprised, if my surprise is met, right, if we do get to somewhere that I'm unexpected to go, this is still a really key area to find support, and it would be a really good area to buy, right? And at any rate, regardless of how low we go, it's just a matter of time before we go up. So let's talk about the upside. Let's talk about what the people who sold at the worst moment, what they're going to miss out on here. Okay, so if we look at this thing on a weekly time frame, okay, 2 days, 9 hours left. I'm hoping that by the end of this week, I would like to see this week close green. That would be nice. If it could close green, if we can move up 14% in the next 2 days and 9 hours, I think that would be nice. XCN, it can do that in a moment, let alone in the next 2 days, 9 hours. So it's definitely possible. I just think that'd be nice because then we'd have 3 red candles in a row, not 4. Call me superstitious, but I think it's better to have an odd number than an even number. Although here you only had 2, so whatever. Here you had 3. Here you, from the top, you went down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you kept going lower. You see what I mean? Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was the low, 7 odd number, and then boom, you started moving up again, right? Yes, the next week was red, but it was green in comparison to higher lows. If anybody knows about the TD sequential, if you know what that is, that's kind of where you get this three finding support on 5s, 7s, 11s, 13s, those odd numbers. That's just how it is for some reason. It's not guaranteed to be, but even look at this to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, right? And then down. Okay? That's just kind of how it is. Here, 1, 2 to the upside and then down. But maybe that there's explanations for that on the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I don't know. Anyways, I'm getting off on a whole different topic here. Just saying, I think it would be nice because then we'd have 3 red weeks in a row, and then 1 green week. It would be nice to close this week green, I think, personally. Seeing the RSI where it is now, we have lower lows in the RSI here, higher lows in the price. So we do have hidden bullish divergence. Anytime that the RSI goes from the overbought zone down to the 60 and we get a bounce there, that's very ideal. Last week, we were hoping for a close around the overbought zone and then a bounce because that would look nice as well. But I think that coming down here, getting a lower low, that's also really nice. The more we cool off, the more that we have to run up. So it's definitely not a bad thing. And we're cooling off, by the way, guys. We're getting lower readings in the RSI each week, and we haven't really gone lower in the price at all. We're getting lower closing prices, but we've got higher lows still. We still have higher lows. So getting lower RSI readings while maintaining higher lows in the long term and higher lows in the short term, that's nothing to be sad about. There's nothing to be discouraged about. It should excite you. We are at the end. It's very clear, I think, that we are at the end of this consolidation phase. We're going to break out. Whoop, that was not the line I meant to draw. We're going to break out one way or another. We're either going to break out to the upside or the downside. When you know that you're at the end of a consolidation phase is whenever the volume is at its lowest. Normally, not always, but normally, whenever it's at very low points respective to where it was whenever it started the consolidation phase. Whenever you break out, you're going to find that volume comes back in. So if we move down, if we break out to the downside, what we're looking for is no volume at all. We're looking for a fake out, and then once we rip back up above the breakout point, we're looking for that volume to come in, okay? The volume, whenever it comes in, it does not have to be like this. It could be a level of volume like this green candle here. It could be like that. It could be smaller than that, right? It doesn't have to be above average on the daily, but just something larger than probably what we've seen since the middle of the month in February, right? Something larger than any of these candles here, larger than the majority of these candles here since we saw real volume. So once we start breaking out something of that magnitude, I think would be a little bit convincing. The more, the better, of course. If we move down with somewhat significant volume, I still won't be too discouraged. But if we continue to move down and we start picking up above average volume, that would discourage me a little bit. We might be in a more long phase of consolidation than we originally assumed. That doesn't mean that these targets are off the table. They'll still be there. It's just it'll happen at a later date because we'll have to consolidate more. And then instead of the end of March, maybe it's the end of April that we're at these targets, and we just have to wait longer. While the rest of crypto pumps, XCN would be consolidating at that kind of rate, which I don't see happening. I think that this thing, while the rest of crypto is being boring, it pumped. I'm assuming that it will pump only more once crypto is exciting. That's not necessarily the best logic to use, but that is my assumption at the moment. Okay, when I say it's not the best logic to use, I just mean in general. Don't use that as a rule of thumb. Just because your coin moves up well while the rest of the market is being boring, that doesn't mean that it has to move up more when the market's moving. Right? There's plenty of coins that, like Caspa, for example, it was very exciting while the market was boring, and even in a bear market. But then once the market started getting exciting, Caspa topped off. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily have to reflect positive. I hope that makes sense. Looking at the fibs here, from a high to a low, 2618 down to the 200 area. If we go to the 1886, that's fine there at just above 1.6 cents. That's what we're looking for. If you do go lower, is to hold that 1.6 cent area. Find support here where you're at now. Find support there, whatever. The next area that you move up to, the minimum target would be, I think, about 10 cents. By the ways of the fibs, it would be 7.2 cents. But I think 10 cents makes more sense to me. It's psychological level of resistance, and we also have other fibs here from a high to a low that line up with that as well at the golden ratio there, just below 10 cents. After that, you break above 10 cents, the next targets really are at 21 to 27 cents, or at the very least, something around 18 cents, I believe. Yeah, 17.6 cents. I said X and cents at the same time, so it sounded like sex. 17.6 cents at the minimum, or maybe not the minimum, at the maximum range. 25 cents of the maximum range too. I don't think we see 27 cents, but I really do accept that 25 cents could be the maximum by the end of this move. It just depends on how we get moving, you guys. I think that we will break through 10 cents. I really do think that we will see our all-time high prices, if not even new all-time high prices. But it's completely possible we could stop anywhere in between, and we have to be prepared for that. Okay. Let's look at the 4-hour RSI real quick. It kind of, to me, looks like it does want to go lower. Yes, you have the bullish divergence, but it already came about. You have higher highs in your RSI while having lower highs in the price, so that would scream that you're going lower. You're bouncing here, though. I don't know. You got 5 minutes left in this hour. Look at that. I mean, that could have been your low, man. That really could have been your low. Hard to say. Is that an 886 retracement low to high? Yeah, it's an 886 right there, deep, and you're back above your golden ratio. If this hour closes here, that might have been the low, guys. We might not be going lower at all. And this is what I mean. I'm not here trying to be Mr. Perfect. I'm not here trying to say I'm going to call the exact low. This is the price it has to go to. Once it's there, then we can go up. No, I just, I'm fine with catching the area, right? Whether you bought up here, whether you bought down here, you might feel dumb if you bought up here. You might feel really smart if you bought down here at the lows. But whenever it comes to being at 10 cents or higher, you're not going to care, man. We're all celebrating. We're all in the green, right? This is a good price. 2.77 cents for just under 5 cents all the way at the all-time high. If you're the person that bought up there, these are still good prices relative to 10 cents. Okay, everybody's going to be like, good job. You know what I mean? You've got 100% growth at least, let alone from 2 cents going up to 10 cents. That's a 5x, right? But I'm just talking now. So let's move on with this and try to end the video here, man. So daily time frame, at areas in the RSI that we found support at time and time again, right? Lows here that you found support at, lows here that you found support at. You're literally right in that range right now. So I think that it's just a matter of time, literally a matter of days, probably not even multiple days that we start moving up again. The goal for this week as of now would be to close green. If we can, great. If we don't, fine. It's okay, whatever. But I would like it to close green. That'd be a very powerful signal to me. Even if we don't close green, we're down at this 60 area. I suppose if we were to close red, I'd want it to close a little bit lower even so that we could bounce off the 60. That's normally a really good look. We bounce off the 60 area here, even just above the 60. And that is what sent us up to this, miraculous price here. I could only imagine what this would do. I don't think that we're going to see the same growth necessarily, right, from a low to a high. I don't think that we pull another 20x from here. I mean, that'd be great. I'd welcome that. I think we all would, but 40 cents, I don't know. That might be for a later date, but certainly something, maybe even half that growth, something at 20 cents is on the table, let alone, a quarter of that growth would be about 500. That'd be a 500% move. That'd be at 11 cents. So I definitely think that no matter how we rationalize this, we're due for prices that are significantly higher than we're at now. And it's just a matter of time, guys. It's just a matter of time. So I got nothing else to say. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I do suspect that XCN could have found its low right here. I suppose I can make that call, right? But I wouldn't be surprised in the least if it went lower from here. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see that the price goes down below 1.7 cents even. It can go below there. I wouldn't want to see it go below 1.6 cents. If it does, we have a whole different conversation to make. But until then, I got nothing else for you guys. So hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully by this night's video, we'll have a more positive outlook on it. But even here, man, this is nice. This is like a triple bottom right here. It absolutely is a triple bottom. If anybody's asking, I want to say this too from yesterday's video, right? If anybody's saying that this is not a triple bottom because it's a 1, 2, 3 quadruple bottom, and quadruple bottoms don't happen, which means we have to break out. Yes, yes, we did find support here, but this is not a bottom, right? Triple bottom implies lows of your consolidation range. This low would not be a constitution or it would not be constituted as a bottom of this move down because, right, if it's a triple bottom, what's it a bottom in reference to from this move up? It's a triple bottom. It's not a quadruple on our way up and bottom. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. This was a springboard to higher prices. This was a higher low, not a triple low. Does that make sense? So if you're looking at this the wrong way and saying that we have a quadruple bottom here, you might be validated because we might slip a little bit, right? But I don't think even if we slip, it would be, I don't think that it would be anything below 1.6 cents. I think that there really does stand to be a chance of this being a triple bottom, and if it is, you know, on a 4-hour basis, we would actually be looking to break out, if not by the end of today, sometime tomorrow. So let's see how it goes, guys. Hopefully by the end of today we have more bullish outlooks. If not, the worst will be over, and we can start looking forward to higher prices. Anyways, the only time that I get concerned that we would not see higher prices in a very short amount of time would be if we interact with this high at all and go below it. That would make me think that we are in a longer phase of consolidation than we might have thought, and that's completely possible. We should be aware of that. But, you know, being that we are at such low levels of volume here, I assume we are going to make a decision one way or another very soon. That decision should be obvious because it'll be more than just a little wimpy move down or a little wimpy move up. It'll have more volume than what we've seen over the past couple weeks. Yada, yada, yada. I'm saying the same stuff now. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.